Progressive Skills in English.
Welcome to Theme 5, Episode 2. We will start with skills checkboxes. Let's go to the first skills checkbox. We will have it on the screen. Let's read it together. Skills check 1. Signpost words. Speakers often signpost the order of information in a talk. They use ordinals, first, firstly, second, secondly, etc. And some other words like next, after, that, then. Speakers often finish the list with finally. Use these signpost words to predict the order of information in a talk. Now you will see 4 words in a box. Let's read them together and check the connection between them. First, firstly, finally, next, and secondly. You will find that they have to be put in order. We'll start with firstly, then secondly, then next, then finally. Now with skills check box number 2 on the screen, and let's read it together. Skills check 2. Signpost words 2. Signpost words introduce the next information in a talk, but they also link back to previous information. Example, the phrase in fact introduces an interesting point about previous information. People think that technology must have a wire and a plug. Previous information. But in fact, signpost phrase. Technology is much wider than that. Interesting point. Now let's see the box in front of you and check what is required. In fact goes with an interesting point. Let's take, and it would go with an example. 2. Unfortunately would go with a problem. 3. So would go with a result. 4. Of course would go with an obvious result. 5. Now you will listen to the first audio track in this episode. Listen carefully.
Track 5.3.
The aim of technology is to make life better for humans. Let's take communication technology. Firstly, it helps us to share information more easily and save time. Secondly, we can store a large amount of data easily and cheaply. Finally, we can use tools to be more creative, like drawing programs in computers. But unfortunately, technology can also make life worse. For example, it's very easy to lose electronic data. And some people say that overusing technology kills relationships. In fact, it can make people isolated and lonely. And, of course, electronic devices can be hacked. Criminals can get your data, or they can get control of your computer. So we don't need less technology to protect people in the information age. We need more technology.
After the audio track, we will check some advantages and disadvantages of technology. As you can see on the screen 2 pictures. One of them for a mobile phone and the other for a road on which we have trees and plants, but in the same picture we have some smoke that pollutes the air. As you can see, technology gives us both advantages, like in getting information in no time and getting information about everything we need and having the same information everywhere in the world at the same time. But it sometimes enhances pollution, or it damages the family ties and the humanitarian activities. Now let's move to skills check 3. You will have it on the screen. Let's read it together. Skills check 3. Recognizing quantifiers. Quantifiers go with nouns. They tell us something about the quantity of the noun, big or small. we can use some quantifiers with all nouns. Examples: I bought some paper and some books from the shop. I don't have a lot of time, but I have a lot of jobs to do. I need more money and more friends. But some quantifiers can only go with countable nouns and some can only go with uncountable nouns. Examples: do you have many books? I have a few jobs to do. There are fewer students here today than yesterday. I don't have much paper. I only have a little time today. I have less money this month than last month. We can also use the quantifier much with comparative adjectives. Examples: the car is much better than that car. This exercise is much more difficult than the last one. Now we will have an exercise. You will have it on the screen. Let's complete it together using words in Skills Check 3. What is the missing word in each sentence? A. Finally, we will look briefly at a few problems with technology. Some people think that technology is about electronic equipment, but in fact, technology is much bigger than that. Now, let's go to another exercise confirming the same point. Choose the correct quantifier to complete each sentence. A. Technology has many forms. B. There was little time left for anything else. C. There are many pumps in the pipes. D. This technology makes everyday life a lot better. E. We don't need less technology. F. We need more technology. Please listen again to the coming audio track to check the answer set.
Track 5.4. A.
Technology has many forms.
B.
There was little time left for anything else.
C.
There are many pumps in the pipes.
D.
This technology makes everyday life a lot better.
E.
We don't need less technology.
F.
We need more technology.
Now let's go to the text that you have on the screen. Let's see it together and let's try to complete it using all the words that we studied in this episode. Like, for example, signpost words or frequency words or maybe some quantity words or maybe some actually different verbs and nouns. The aim of technology is to make life better for humans. First, communication technology. Here, it helps us to share information more easily and save time. Next, we can store a large amount of data easily and cheaply. And thirdly, we can use tools to be more creative, like drawing programs in computers. But unfortunately, technology can also make life worse. For example, it's very easy to lose electronic data. And some people say that overusing technology kills relationships. So it can make people isolated and lonely. And obviously, it can make electronic devices can be hacked. Criminals can get your data or they can get control of your computer. Yet we don't need less technology to protect people in the information age. We need more technology. Now, let's go to the speaking part of this episode and you will see some pictures on the screen. As you can see in the picture that we have now, it's about uses of technology, mainly food technology. As you can see, the pictures are numbered from 1 to 7. Let's have this box together. Let's read it, and after that, let's match it with the pictures. Instant coffee, pot, can, fridge, mill, net, and oven. Let's go back to the pictures. 1 can, 2 instant coffee, 3 fridge, 4 pot, 5 oven, 6 net, and 7 mill. What do they have in common? They are related to food. They are both old and modern ways to prepare food. Now, let's go to the first vocabulary box in our episode. Fresh, grind, healthy, invention, manufacturer, packaging, refrigeration, resource, stage, and technologist. Now, let's listen to some groups who are researching for some careers in technology. One of them is talking about his choices and how can he find a suitable job. Let's listen to a series of audio tracks who are talking about that.
Track 5.5.
Did you know that there are nearly 7.5 billion people in the world? And of course, they all need food. So I'm going to talk to you about food technology. It can provide food for everyone. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the history of food technology. Then, I'll tell you about one important system in food technology. It's the process of getting fresh fruit from the farm to the supermarket. Finally, I will mention some ways to make food production greener.
Now, as you can see in this episode, we talked a lot about technology, and you know that it is there in different life categories, like for example, food technology. Now let's go to an exercise, the final one from our workbook, to be the more and the extra activities example. Let's see it together. Let's go to page 90 in our workbook, the first exercise about nouns and verbs. You can see now the box in front of you on the screen. Communicate as a verb, communication noun. Define as a verb, definition noun. Develop as a verb, development noun. Equip as a verb, equipment noun. Improve as a verb, improvement noun. Inform as a verb, information noun. Invent as a verb, invention noun. Produce as a verb, production noun. And solve as a verb, solving noun. Like this, we came to an end of our episode. Thank you.
Progressive Skills in English